Hello guys, welcome on Unique Concepts of Physics. Now in this video, I'll be demonstrating you the complete analysis of potential energy curve along with very important numericals related to it. So first of all, the graph which is shown to you in the diagram is between potential energy U, which is plotted on the y-axis, and the distance of a particle x or its coordinate x, which is plotted on the x-axis. Now we need to identify the positions of stable equilibrium, unstable equilibrium, and also we need to identify the region where the force acting on that particle is positive and the region where the force acting on that particle is negative. And let's suppose the graph this graph is for two particles which are situated at a distance of x from each other, and this U is the potential energy of their system. Okay, so we are plotting this graph, we have plotted this graph for this system of two objects which are situated at a distance of x from each other, and the interatomic distance or unit distance between them, this one, is x. Now first of all we need to identify the points of equilibrium, and we know that F is equal to minus du by dx, which is the negative of the slope of this graph. So if the slope of this graph is minus of force, then the points where slope is zero, then at the same point the force will also be zero. These points are P, Q and R. You can see that at this point P, at this point Q and at this point R, the slope plotted to this graph is zero. And these are the points of equilibrium in the graph. These are the equilibrium points. Now among these points we need to identify the points of stable and unstable equilibrium also, and we know that P will be the stable equilibrium point because potential energy at P is minimum in the graph, and we know that the minimum potential energy point and the equilibrium point is the position of a stable equilibrium point. Now at point Q, the potential energy UQ is the maximum potential energy among all those equilibrium points. You might be imagining that this point is higher than Q, and it means that potential energy at this point will be greater than that of Q. But we are talking about the points of equilibrium, and at these points of equilibrium, among these 3 points, the Q point is having the largest potential energy, and Q will be the unstable equilibrium point. Because the potential energy is maximum at point Q. Now again, it is not necessary that each equilibrium point is defined among these stable, unstable and neutral. So it is not necessary. Hence this R point is neither stable nor unstable and neither neutral equilibrium point. Now we need to analyze the region where the force is positive and in fact region where force is attractive or repulsive between these two particles. So first of all, we know that at the points when the force is attractive, when F is attractive, then with increasing x, force should be negative, which means that if we are increasing the distance between these two objects, then this force is negative, and negative force means that this force is opposing the increase of the distance, and this force is trying to bring back them to their original position. So to analyze the attractive force, we need to identify a region where force is negative along with x increasing. So in the region, I can identify that in this region, this is point A, and in region AP, the slope, which is equal to du by dx, is negative, and hence the force F is positive. And as this x is increasing in region AP, as we are moving from A to P, this x is increasing and the potential energy of the system is decreasing. So it means that if the position, if the distance between these two objects is increasing, then the potential energy is decreasing, and the slope du by dx is negative, and hence the force, which is equal to minus du by dx, will be positive, and the positive force is the repulsive force. This is the repulsive force. Okay, now when we move further in region PQ or PB, in region PQ, in this region, as x is increasing, the potential energy is also increasing, and when this potential energy is increasing, then the slope plotted on this region, on the graph in this region, slope of the graph is positive, and hence force, which is equal to minus of slope, and force is negative. Now negative force means that with increasing x, the force is negative and it is trying to bring back this particle to its original position. So the negative force represents its attractive nature. This is attractive force, and similarly a region QR will be a region in which the force will be repulsive, and in region RS the force will be attractive in nature. Okay, now in this diagram you can see that the graph is being given between F and X. So we need to identify the positions of stable and unstable equilibrium. So in this case we know that at equilibrium points net force is 0, and hence there are 2 points x1 and x2, which I can see where the net force is 0. So these are the equilibrium points. at x1 df by dx is positive. Now f is equal to minus du by dx already, and df by dx will be equal to minus d square u by dx square. Now we know that for stable equilibrium position, du by dx should be 0 as well as d square u by dx square. At the stable equilibrium position, potential energy should be minimum, and considering this fact and considering the analysis of maxima and minima, we know that at the point of minima this double derivative is greater than 0. Therefore d square u by dx square is also equal to minus df by dx, and hence it should be greater than 0. Therefore df by dx should be less than 0 at the position of stable equilibrium. And on the contrary note, I can say that at the position of unstable equilibrium, df by dx should be greater than 0. At the position of unstable equilibrium. So this point x1, at this point x1 df by dx is greater than 0. Therefore it is unstable equilibrium, and at this point x2 df by dx is less than 0. Therefore it is stable equilibrium position. Now we need to identify the stable equilibrium position. So the stable equilibrium position will be x is equal to x2, and hence the correct answer will be option number B. Okay guys, now I will be demonstrating the numericals based on these concepts. In this question, we are given a potential energy graph with x, the distance, and we need to identify the correct force versus x graph for the above potential energy graph. Now we can easily identify the graph that we know that f is equal to minus du by dx, and the slope in 0 to a slope, which means du by dx, is positive, and it is also constant, positive constant, and hence the force in this region will be a negative constant. And in a region x is greater than a, the force du by dx is 0, hence the force will be 0. So the correct option will be option number C, which is a negative constant force in region 0 to a and 0 in region beyond a. Okay, now I move on the next question. In this question, we need to identify the points of equilibrium, and we need to identify that whether they are stable, unstable or neutral. Now in this first diagram, the graph is given between potential energy and x, and there are 2 points. In fact, I can say you that this point A does not have a 0 slope, so A is not an equilibrium point. So equilibrium points are C and E, out of which this point E has a higher potential energy, in fact highest potential energy. So E point has also zero slope. So this E point is a point of unstable equilibrium, because the force at point E is zero, which can be obtained by the slope, and the potential energy at this point is maximum. Now again at point C, the force is zero and the potential energy, I'm firstly writing at point E. So at point E, potential energy is maximum, and at point C, potential energy is minimum, which means this point C is a point of stable equilibrium. Now similarly, I have to identify these points in this graph which is shown, and in this graph this point B, D and F. Again I am telling you that the slope at point A is not zero. So this three points, this point B, D and F are the equilibrium points, because the force at this point is zero, and you have to pay attention that this graph is plotted between force and displacement x. Now we know that at if d square u by dx square, double derivative of potential energy function, is greater than zero, then it is the position of the potential energy is minimum at this point, and this is the position of a stable equilibrium. Now we know that d square u by dx square is also equal to minus df by dx. So the point where df by dx will be less than 0 will be the position of stable equilibrium. So at point D, this point D, the slope df by dx is positive, df by dx is positive, and at point F and at point B the slope is negative. So at these 2 points at these 2 points df by dx is negative, which means that these points D and F are the points of stable equilibrium, and this point where df by dx is positive is the point of unstable equilibrium. Okay, now we move on the next question. In this question, a graph between potential energy and x is given for a particle which is moving on x-axis, and the force is acting on the x-axis, and force is the function of x. Now the potential energy of that particle as a function of x is given to be 15 plus x minus 3 whole square. So this is the potential energy of the particle which is given as a function of x, and it is also given that at x is equal to 5 the kinetic energy of the particle is 50. So at x is equal to 5 the kinetic energy of the particle is 50 joules. So if I find out the potential energy at x is equal to 5, then it would be 15 plus 4, which is 19 joules, and hence the total mechanical energy PE will be sum of kinetic and potential, and it would be 69 joule. Now we all know that the total mechanical energy in a motion in which there is no external force and there is no non-conservative force is constant. So here there is no external force and here there is no non-conservative force. Therefore I can say that the total mechanical energy of this system will remain constant and equal to 69 joules, which is the correct option A. B is obviously incorrect. At x is equal to 3, the kinetic energy of the particle is minimum. Now the point where the potential energy is maximum, the kinetic energy will be minimum, because the sum of potential and kinetic is constant, which is the total mechanical energy. So at point x is equal to 3, potential energy is minimum, you can see, and kinetic will be maximum. So option number B is incorrect, C is also incorrect. The maximum value of kinetic energy of this particle is 54 joules. Now again we can say that the potential energy is maximum at this point, which is 64 joule. This is maximum potential energy, and at this point the kinetic energy of the particle will be minimum. So if I calculate the maximum value of kinetic energy, then it would be at point x is equal to 3. We have already studied that, and at x is equal to 3, the potential energy is minimum and it is equal to 15, which I have calculated with this equation, and it is also given in the graph. And therefore the maximum kinetic energy will be equal to the total mechanical energy minus minimum potential energy. Therefore the maximum kinetic energy will be equal to 69 minus minimum is 15, so it is equal to 54 joules, which is the correct option number D. Now we move on the next question. In this question, there is a potential energy curve which is plotted against the x-axis coordinates, and it is plotted for a mass of 2 kg which is moving on the x-axis, and this mass is moving under the only conservative force which is associated with this potential energy function. Now we have to check that when this particle is released from origin, so this point is origin, when it is released from origin, then where it would start to move. Now to check that, we can draw a tangent at point O, and the angle theta will be less than 90 at point O. If we draw this tangent, then we can say that at O the slope of the graph is positive, which is also du by dx, which is positive, and hence the force will be negative, because we all know that F is equal to minus du by dx. Now therefore at point O force will be negative, and if we release a particle from rest at point O, then it will start to move towards negative x-axis, which is the correct option number B. Now if this particle is released from a point which is x is equal to 2 plus del, where del tends to 0, then the maximum speed in the subsequent motion will be. Now this question is very important. You can see that if this particle is released from a point which is slightly ahead of x is equal to 2, let's suppose this point A. So this del is tending to 0, so it means that this position is not just this point, it is just far away, just slightly away from this point x is equal to 2, which means that the question is trying to indicate that we have to take the potential energy at A also to be 10, and the slope of this graph at point A will not be 0, but it is 0 at x is equal to 2. So at x is equal to A, let's suppose we mark some point B here. So and this point C. So at x is equal to A, we can say that the slope of the graph is negative, and the force, which is minus du by dx, is positive at this point x is equal to a, and in the complete region, in region AB, the force will be positive in complete region AB, and the acceleration of the particle will be positive. So the particle will be accelerated till point B. Now at point B, the force acting on this particle will become zero suddenly, and till point B the particle has been accelerated, but beyond point B in region BC, the slope of the graph is positive, and hence the force acting on the particle will be negative, which means that starting from A to point B, the particle will accelerate, and till point B it will accelerate, but beyond this point B the particle will be in a retarded motion, and hence the velocity, therefore in region AB particle will be accelerating, and in region BC the particle will be retarding. So therefore at point B the velocity of the particle will be maximum. We can also understand this concept by a fact that as the particle has moved from A to B, its potential energy is decreasing, and it is minimum at point B. And we know that the total mechanical energy is conserved in case of conservative forces and no external forces. Then in this case also the total mechanical energy will be conserved, and as we are moving from A to B, the potential energy is decreasing, and hence the kinetic energy will increase, and therefore the point B, which is having the minimum potential energy, will also have the maximum kinetic energy. This has the minimum potential energy, which is equal to 15 minus 15, and the kinetic energy will be maximum. So to find out this maximum kinetic energy and the maximum velocity, I write that magnitude of change in potential energy while moving from A to B will be equal to the magnitude of change in kinetic energy, and I know that the potential energy is decreasing while we are moving from A to B, and the kinetic energy is increasing. So the potential energy at point A was nearer to 10, and due to the reason that del is tending to 0, we can assume the potential energy at A also to be 10 joules. And the potential energy at B will be is given as minus 15 joule. You can see that. Now the change in potential energy from A to B, and we are taking only the magnitude, will be 10 minus 15, which will be 25 joules. And assuming that particle has been released from rest, and in fact not assuming, it is given in the question itself, the initial kinetic energy will be 0 at point A. This is at point A, and the final kinetic energy, which is at point B, will be maximum, and I am assuming that to be half m v max square. So the magnitude of change in kinetic energy will be half m v max square minus 0 will be equal to 25, and half mass is 2 kg, and this is v max square will be equal to 25. Now v max will be equal to 5 meters per second. So the correct answer will be option number B. Now I hope that this question I was able to make you understand, and this is a very good question of the graphical representations of potential energies, and after understanding this question, you can easily do the tougher questions of these kind. So I move on the next question now. In this question, there is a potential energy curve given for a particle which is executing simple harmonic motion, and the potential energy function is given as U is equal to half kx square. Now k is also equal to 0.5, and we have to prove that this particle will turn back from position x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 2, and it is given that its total energy is 1 joule. Now what is the concept of turning back? So concept of turning back is the fact that at points where kinetic energy of the particle is 0 and beyond those points the kinetic energy of the particle is negative. The particle cannot go beyond those points where the kinetic energy is 0 and beyond them the kinetic energy is negative, because negative kinetic energy is not possible and it is nothing. So we need to find out those points where the kinetic energy of the particles is 0 and beyond those points the kinetic energy of the particle is negative. So from those points particle cannot go further, and hence it has to turn back from those points. Now we know that we have to justify and we have to prove that this particle will not cross point x is equal to plus 2 and neither the point x is equal to minus 2, and for that we can see that if at x is equal to plus minus 2 the potential energy of the particle is equal to half, k is equal to half, and this is 4, either plus 2 or either minus 2, and potential energy is 1 joule. Now if potential energy is 1 joule and it is also equal to total mechanical energy, then the kinetic energy should be 0 at those points, and beyond this point this is 1 joule and total mechanical energy is also given to be 1 joule. So if this particle goes above this point in the graph, then the potential energy will be greater than 1 joule and kinetic energy will be negative, which is not possible, and obviously potential energy cannot be greater than the total mechanical energy. So this proves that the particle will return back from point A and B in its motion, and it will not cross point A and point B. Now we move on the next question.